Synopsis of the Books of the Bible. Numbers. By J.N. Darby. All Scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, truly furnished unto all good works. 2 Timothy 3 verses 16 and 17. Synopsis of the Books of the Bible. By John Nelson Darby. Numbers chapter 15. Jehovah's rest in his foreordained counsels in spite of Israel's unbelief. After all this unbelief of the people, when God had declared that the earth should be filled with his glory, by the cutting off of the rebellious congregation, and when one might have supposed they had forfeited the land forever, it is perfectly beautiful, in chapter 15, to see the Lord returning into the perfect rest of his foreordained counsels, and of his immutable being, and giving instructions relative to the time when the people shall have entered the land he has given them. It speaks of the offerings of righteousness they are invited to bring to him of their free will, and of the wine of joy which was to accompany these offerings, and as this is grace, the love of God reaches out beyond Israel, and, bringing the stranger near to his people, he makes one law for both. The first fruits belong to him. The sins of ignorance are forgiven by means of the sacrifice required by the perfectness of the ways of God. The sin committed presumptuously alone brings destruction. God orders them to put upon the fringe of the borders of their garments a riband of blue, that they may remember his commandments, and be kept from that which would render them profane. The heavenly principle must enter into the minutest details of life, even into those that are nearest to the earth, if we wish to escape the serious evils which bring down the judgment of God. The introduction of the stranger in this chapter is of the highest interest, as a testimony to grace. But we have not, as yet, seen the final apostasy which brings down the judgment at the very moment when it is accomplished.